Veteran right-hander Adam Ottavino, parts of 15 major league seasons.
Looking for a put away here, 1-2. Two out runners at the corners. Runner first breaks. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. Nice job by Adam Ottavino to come in to close out the top of the sixth inning.
All right, there's Adam Ottavino. This year, 15 years in the major leagues. He's been a friend of the show for a long time. 3 games with the Yankees this year. It's great to have you here, Adam.
It's great to be here.
Going to be here today, going to be here tomorrow. What is your status? What are you doing?
I am doing a little bit of everything. Definitely a lot of media stuff, but yeah, not really pursuing pitching, but arm still works, so the possibility is still there, and we'll see what happens.
I'm stunned you weren't picked up. Like the Yankees, it was a roster crunch. They're a high-end team, obviously, but you pitched well. Again, you had 3 games in April, 0 ERA. You got your outs. How does it work in the majors? Do you have to reach out? Do people reach out to you?
I mean, I was in the marketplace the whole winter, all through spring training. Once I eventually got signed by the Red Sox, minor league deal, didn't make that club. Had a couple stints with the Yankees. I mean, every team was aware of me. I think the big rub was I wasn't willing to chase it in the minor leagues. I feel like I'm a major league pitcher, and yeah, I just wasn't willing to chase it in the minor leagues. I didn't want to end my career in that fashion, or even potentially end my career in that fashion. So that's kind of where it's at.
I can see you in July, tanned, rested, ready to go. You've got the kids in school, right? You'd be ready to go. I mean, because you could be ready to go this year. You're ready to go.
Arms working.
Arms working. Okay.
Feel good.
Excellent. Yeah. Now, for years, we were a fan of yours with the Rockies. You had 7 years with the Rockies. Then you do a tour of Yankees, Red Sox, Mets. What are the differences there as far as either clubhouses, baseball ops, fan bases? What are the difference between those very high energy places?
Well, as relative to Colorado, I mean, it's a bigger stage. All those are bigger stages. I think all of those teams are in win now mode, especially when I was there. There was a lot of emphasis on, getting to the playoffs and giving. Every year we had championship aspirations that I was with those teams. Not to say we didn't with the Rockies, but it was really only 2 of the years I was there.
Right.
Obviously, you're under the microscope a little bit. The games feel more important. You feel like you have a little more importance. Certainly the fans will let you know about it when you're not performing well, but it's really fun to play in the big markets. It's a challenge I always took on, something I really enjoyed.
You grew up in Brooklyn, right?
Yep.
All right, so you're in Brooklyn. What are the differences between Yankees and Mets?
I think that's an evolving situation. I think, growing up, clearly Yankees were the big brother and Mets, were obviously the little brother. I think that's kind of changing a little bit, and I think the expectations are kind of changing accordingly. I think the Met fan before was sort of like, maybe this is our year. They felt like that underdog, that hope. But now they're dealing with real expectations. You got the big payroll. You're signing the big guns.
I'm just wondering, too, how about baseball ops as far as tinkering with you, working with you? These are, with Boston, with both New York clubs, these are sophisticated operations, right? What are the differences, if at all?
Well, they've continued to evolve. I mean, Boston has a whole different operation now, like where I saw in spring training, than what they had when I was there in 21. And certainly the Yankees had evolved now since what I saw in 2019, 2020. That's kind of the hallmark. You're always trying to be on the cutting edge, always trying to give the guys the best chance to improve themselves, put themselves in the best place to succeed. It's a holistic approach. I think one thing that has changed in the game, especially with the good teams, is the departments aren't in silos anymore. They all talk to each other. They all work together and really get the 360-degree view of the player and how to help the player in all ways.
Okay. Now, we were just talking briefly about pitcher injuries, and you had Tommy John surgery in the middle of your career, but then you said you kind of mastered staying on the field. So that's the magic that everyone's searching for now. How can we do that? How can we avoid? You were a high velo guy, too. High breaking stuff. How do we avoid injuries pitching?
Well, I mean, that's a long conversation, and I don't think teams necessarily care about relievers staying healthy, really. I think maybe the economic model might be better to just kind of rinse and repeat and recycle the guys. But for me, it really came down to kind of taking ownership over my own career in the health department, monitoring my own workload really well, understanding the modalities to recover and to feel better, not chasing unnecessary velocity. I mean, I felt like I threw hard enough to get outs. Certainly my fastball played throughout my whole career. I think constantly chasing elite level metrics or velocity is risky.
Right.
And I think a lot of guys have no choice but to do that, or they're not going to get the opportunities. I was lucky to get into that phase of my career where I was trusted for a while, and I could kind of do both. I could stay healthy and still be effective.
You were able to do 77, 78, 79 innings. So you've had a high workload. I'm just wondering, is that possible in this day and age? And I'd push back a little bit. Again, you lived it. But if you're my leverage guy, it's in my best interest, if I'm the club, to not have you lose you for a full year, right?
I agree. I think, look, you get to the end of the year, a lot of times, you've seen it in the playoffs, managers go to they have their trust circle shrinks.
Yeah, circle of trust gets tight, yes.
It would sure be better for the manager to have 5 guys to trust rather than 3, and, maybe 2 guys are on the surgery table. So I've always been a proponent of understanding how to keep each individual guy healthy, and that might look different for each guy. But ultimately, like I said, just the ability to not have to chase those elite things that are risky, I think, worked in my favor.
Right. And you're right about postseason now, right? The circle of trust tightens, and then you go to the whip a lot more. You're like, we need you. We need this. You back out.
It's certainly possible. I mean, guys do stay healthy, and guys do take on big workloads and do a great job with it. It's just that, again, it's harder when you're throwing 98, 99, 100 miles an hour all the time, and that's what you're being told you need to do to maintain your roster spot, right?
Right.
So, the level of the game rises, the risks rise. That's just a give and a take, and everything seems to be a trade-off in baseball.